What if everything you thought you knew about getting a skilled worker visa to the UK was about to change? What if the rules that stopped thousands of qualified professionals from coming to Britain were quietly being reviewed right now, and a major decision was just weeks away? This is not speculation. This is happening. And if you are planning to move to the UK, if you are already on a skilled worker visa, or if you have ever been rejected because of strict salary thresholds or occupation requirements, then this video could be one of the most important things you watch this year. Welcome to UK Visa Diary, the channel that keeps you ahead of every twist and turn in British immigration law. We break down complex visa updates into clear, honest, and actionable information so that you always know where you stand. If you are not subscribed yet, hit that button right now and ring the bell, because immigration news moves fast and you cannot afford to miss a single update. Today we are talking about something that has sent shockwaves through the UK immigration community. The Migration Advisory Committee, known as the MAC, is reportedly considering a significant loosening of the conditions attached to the skilled worker visa. We are going to break down exactly what that means, who it affects, what changes might be coming, and what you should do right now to prepare. Let us start with the basics. What is the Migration Advisory Committee, and why does its opinion matter so much? The MAC is an independent body that advises the UK government on immigration policy. When the Home Office wants to change visa rules, and whether that means raising salary thresholds, adding or removing occupations from the shortage list, or changing the conditions attached to specific visa categories, it often asks the MAC to conduct a review first. The MAC's recommendations are not legally binding, but in practice the government follows them closely. When the MAC speaks, the rules usually change, and right now the MAC is speaking. According to recent reports, the committee is actively reviewing the conditions of the skilled worker visa, the main route through which qualified professionals from outside the UK gain permission to live and work in Britain. The review is focused on several key areas that have caused enormous frustration for applicants, employers, and immigration experts alike. The first area under review is the salary threshold. In April 2024, the UK government dramatically raised the minimum salary requirement for skilled worker visa applicants. The general threshold jumped from around £26,200 per year to £38,700 per year, an increase of nearly 50% in one move. For many employers, especially in sectors like hospitality, social care, retail, and logistics, this threshold made it virtually impossible to sponsor overseas workers. For many applicants, it meant that jobs they were fully qualified for were suddenly out of reach, not because of their skills, but because of a number on a payslip. The MAC is now reportedly considering whether this threshold was set too high and whether it should be reduced or made more flexible for certain sectors. This is a significant shift in thinking. For months, the government had defended the higher threshold as a way to prioritize domestic workers and reduce net migration. But the economic reality has pushed back hard. Employers are struggling to fill vacancies. Key industries are understaffed. And the argument that higher thresholds protect British jobs has not held up in practice, because in many cases there are simply not enough British workers to fill the roles. If the MAC recommends a reduction in the salary threshold, even a partial one, it would immediately open the door for thousands of skilled professionals who are priced out of the UK job market. At UK Visa Diary, we will be watching this development extremely closely and will bring you the full update the moment any official announcement is made. The second area being examined is the shortage occupation list. This is a list of jobs where the UK government officially acknowledges there are not enough workers domestically. Historically, jobs on this shortage occupation list benefited from a discounted salary threshold. Applicants could be paid 80% of the standard rate and still qualify for a skilled worker visa. In 2024, the government effectively abolished this discount, removing the financial incentive that came with shortage occupation status. The MAC is now reviewing whether this was the right call. Several industries that rely heavily on overseas talent, including healthcare, engineering, construction, and education, have lobbied hard for the shortage occupation discount to be reinstated. The argument is straightforward. If the UK genuinely does not have enough workers in a particular field, penalizing employers for hiring abroad makes no economic sense. A reinstatement of the shortage occupation discount, even in a modified form, would be a major win for employers in these sectors and for the skilled professionals who want to work in them. The third area of review concerns the occupation skill level requirements. Currently, the skilled worker visa is available for jobs classified at RQF level 3 or above, roughly equivalent to A-level standard. But there have been calls from certain industries to either expand the eligible occupation list or create a more flexible framework that accounts for the practical skills required in roles that do not fit neatly into traditional qualification brackets. This is particularly relevant for sectors like construction, advanced manufacturing, and certain areas of the care industry, where workers may have years of highly specialized experience, but lack formal qualifications that match the current RQF level requirements. If the MAC recommends a broader or more flexible approach to occupation eligibility, it could open up the skilled worker route to a whole new category of applicants who are currently excluded. Now, let us talk about what this means for you personally. Because at UK Visa Diary, our job is not just to report the news, it is to help you act on it. If you are currently planning to apply for a skilled worker visa and you have been discouraged by the high salary threshold, our advice is this: do not give up yet. Hold your position. Monitor the situation closely. If the MAC recommends a lower threshold and the government acts on it, which could happen within months, the landscape could change significantly in your favor. If you already hold a skilled worker visa and you are concerned about how potential changes might affect your renewal or your path to settlement, the key message is this: existing visa holders are generally protected under transitional arrangements when rules change. But it is always worth getting professional advice to understand your specific situation. At UK Visa Diary, we always recommend consulting a registered immigration advisor or solicitor before making any major decisions. If you are an employer who has struggled to sponsor overseas workers because of the current salary thresholds, this development is worth watching very carefully. The MAC review could unlock access to a much wider pool of talent that you were previously unable to reach. Start preparing your sponsorship license and your HR processes now, because when the changes come, the employers who are ready will move fastest. And if you are someone who was rejected in the past, if you applied for a skilled worker visa and were turned down because your salary offer did not meet the threshold, or because your occupation was not on the eligible list, this review is directly relevant to you. Depending on what the MAC recommends and when changes come into effect, you may find that a future application stands a much better chance of success. One important caveat that UK Visa Diary always emphasizes: nothing is confirmed yet. The MAC has not published its final recommendations. The government has not announced any policy changes. What we are reporting is a credible, well-sourced development that signals a shift in direction. But the timing and the detail of any changes remain uncertain. Immigration policy in the UK can move quickly, but it can also stall. Do not make irreversible decisions based on anticipated changes alone. What you can do right now is stay informed, stay prepared, and stay connected to channels like UK Visa Diary that cut through the noise and give you the facts you need. The story of the UK skilled worker visa is not over. In fact, it may be entering one of its most consequential chapters. A system that was designed to attract global talent, but increasingly ended up pushing people away, may be about to course correct. And when it does, the people who were paying attention will be the ones who benefit. If this video gave you clarity on what is happening and what it means for your future, please give it a thumbs up right now. Share it with someone who is going through the UK visa process, because this information could genuinely change their plans. Subscribe to UK Visa Diary and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Because next week we are breaking down exactly what the MAC process looks like from the inside, how recommendations are made, how long they take to become law, and what the historical track record tells us about how much influence the MAC really has. Drop a comment below and tell us, has the salary threshold affected your plans to come to the UK? Have you or someone you know been turned down because of the current rules? We read every single comment, and your stories shape the content we make. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay ready. This is UK Visa Diary.